Hey, welcome class to English 102. So I just want to go over Canvas and your work and skills that we'll be learning this week. You'll get a weekly video every week. That's why it's weekly. So let's get started. So here is your Canvas home view for this course. You should see something just like this. So you'll have a Getting Started module, which has our newsletter syllabus and a description of our alternative grading system, which I'll talk about in a second. Then you'll have some student success links, everything you may need to sort of develop professional skills if you need to meet with a librarian this quarter or join a club, to be connected to South Seattle or drop in tutoring at the Writing Center. And then you'll see I jump right into week one, okay? And you'll see that week one has a bunch of readings on the Foundation Scholarship. So our first writing project will be writing the personal statement for the South Seattle Foundation Scholarship. So we're focusing on narrative and exposition skills and telling a story. So we'll do that for the next 2 weeks. So this week you have a bunch of readings, as you can see, about personal statement examples, personal statement tips, outline, how to write a draft of a personal statement. So take a look at all of those. Those are going to give you some clear examples and a great pre-writing or draft way to draft and approach a personal statement. Your first due item is this Friday night. I want the first draft of your personal statement, right? And this is about 2 pages, okay? So click on, right, draft a personal statement. You'll see exactly what I want. Well, it's exactly what the Foundation Scholarship at South Seattle wants, right? It's their prompt. So we're going to be writing for this real assignment, right? We're going to be advocating for ourselves. The actual scholarship opens in winter-spring quarter. So if you do actually use this statement to apply for that and you get the money, let me know and we can celebrate together. That'd be awesome. So here's the prompt. Here are the questions that I would like you to answer. You have 3 main questions. Statement of financial need, description, describe an experience that demonstrates your perseverance and progress, and the describe your journey or experience. So take a look at those. And remember, all of this should sort of be aimed or geared at your academic journey. It says journey, I don't think it means your spiritual journey. You could, but I consider the audience here at South Seattle College Foundation Scholarship. The actual readers for this are drawn from throughout the college. So faculty, staff, administration folks, those are the actual readers, and people from the foundation office themselves. Those are the readers. So it's a very professional audience that we're writing for. Okay, so you've got that. So that's due this Friday. So I want you to post your draft to that box of draft a personal statement where I give feedback. And then I want you to post it again to the peer review box. This is a discussion board where you'll post yours and then you'll give feedback on at least 2 other personal statements of classmates that you read. Okay? So think of it as you're posting your draft twice. One to me and then to the general discussion board where your colleagues will give feedback there. And you'll get my feedback in that separate box. Okay, so that's why there's 2 boxes. I just wanted to explain that. Okay, so really briefly, I just want to talk about the grading system. I'll have a discussion board about this next week. If anyone has any questions about the syllabus or the grading system, that's a great place to ask those questions, or just email me. So we're going to be using a new alternative grading-based system. And I love, this is one of your little handouts under that box of alternative grading. What is ungrading, alternative grading, right? There's traditional grading, and then there's other ways to grade. Traditional grading, like A, B, C, D, F, that is a very recent phenomenon that became solidified in the 1940s and 1950s. Before then, there weren't really letter grades. There were these alternative grading systems. So think about that. If you think like there's a normal or a standard or a traditional way of grading, There's not. There's one system that took over in the 40s. So let's consider other systems that might be more fair, compassionate, rigorous. So take a look at this, right? Ungrading is not, I'm not grading. There is assessment of your work, right? It's not an easy A, right? These are not equivalent statements, right? So ungrading, it starts by trusting students. It starts with really a lot of individualized feedback. So grading is very different from feedback. You'll get a lot of feedback in this class. But for grading, I'm gonna let you guys self-assess yourselves. I think this is a crucial skill across life and all college majors, is the ability to accurately assess yourself, your own learning, what you've done, right? So this is, you are learning self-assessment in this alternative grading system. So I'll sort of give you a sneak peek at what this will look like. In a mid-quarter and at the end of the quarter, I'll give you guys a self-reflection on Canvas, where you'll write me a short letter, you'll reflect on the work that you've done, right? So basically, you're gonna show me examples of your learning. You're gonna show me, okay, look, I have learned, I have mastered these skills, or, I've really grappled with these skills, right? I went from, here to here, okay? You don't have to master all of these skills. There's a lot of skills. But you should show learning on a lot of the core ones. So that's your first letter, is I just want you to reflect on your learning, okay? And you'll quote from your work to show me your learning. You could quote from a paper, you could quote from a discussion post, right? Show me your learning, right, from your own work. So this is what I mean by you're really self-assessing, you're showing me what you've learned. Okay, and finally, I ask you, well, what grade would you give yourself for the first half of the course, right? A, B, C, D. What grade would you give yourself? Then there will be a final self-assessment, very similar, right? Show me evidence of your learning, show me artifacts of your learning, quote your work, and then what grade would you give yourself? And then I will start with that, right? I will look at your self-assessment letters, and I always say, I reserve the right to have a conversation if sort of my reflection on your work is different from your reflection. If there's like a vastly different assessment processes going on, I'll ask to have an office hours with you. Let's meet for 10 minutes and see if we can understand, okay, show me how you learned, because maybe I didn't see that in a paper. So that's all. I'm not forcing a grade on your work. I really start with your self-assessment, and we'll go from there, right? That's the beauty of this alternative grading system, is I start by trusting students. I want you to learn the skill of assessing your own work. I want you guys to take risks. In this grading system, you can, right? Because if you tell me you learned, you learned. I want you guys to not, I know how to write, an essay. I'm gonna, do what I've always done. I want you guys to take risks. I want you to try new skills that I will present. And you can't fail by trying something new, right? We learn by failing. So even if you blow an introduction, or I had this big claim I wanted to prove, it was really original, and I run into some problems, that's fine, right? You tried something new, you learned, okay? So this grading system really, it wants you to try new things. It wants you to take risks, and it rewards you for doing the labor of doing that. So again, read through these materials on ungrading, see what you think. I really hope you like this system, right? I'm asking you to try this system out if it's new for you. Maybe you've done this before. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple pages on understanding this new grading system, and we'll have a discussion board on this next week. Okay, so that's your first video. I will make a second one and talk more specifically about, well, how do you start writing the personal statement? How do you draft that? How do you have an outline? How do you do that? Okay, but for now, checking out. Thank you.